In our next nomenclature problem, we are going to approach it in exactly the same way. Again, we start by looking for the longest chain. Just like the previous problem, we actually have multiple choices. So we get those as our first 5 carbons. But we can go this way for 6, 7, 8. Or we can go this way for 6, 7, 8. Again, we choose this based on the path that has the most substituents. As we can see from the blue path, those last 3 carbons only have 1 substituent. Yet on the green path, we have 3 substituents for those last 3 carbons. So in that case, as in the previous problem, again, we pick the path that has the most substituents, which is the one highlighted here. Now we need to decide which direction to number this chain. So if we start over here with carbon 1, we'll find our first substituent, a methyl group, is on the second carbon. If we start with 1 over here, we also find a methyl group on the second carbon. So we now have to go to the second substituent to distinguish between these two possibilities. Coming from the right, our second substituent is on carbon 3. But coming from the left, our second substituent is also on carbon 2. And so that means we need to start this chain numbering from the left. So we can number it in this way. And now again, we know our parent chain. Our parent chain is octane. And we just need to name the substituents. So starting at the beginning, we have a number of methyl groups. We can see there's a methyl group at 2, another methyl at 2, a methyl at 6, and a methyl at 7. With 4 methyl groups, we use, or 4 of any group, we use the prefix tetra. This is probably the most commonly forgotten prefix, tetramethyl. At carbon 3, we have a tert-butyl group. At carbon 4, we have a sec-butyl group. And at carbon 5, we have a bromine. Now, when we alphabetize here, this is going to be a little bit more complicated than it's been in the past. So the tetramethyl gets alphabetized under M. We know that. The bromo is the easy one. It gets alphabetized under B. But for our 2 butyl substituents, the tert-butyl and the sec-butyl, tert and sec are both numerical prefixes. So these both get alphabetized under B. The only time these numerical prefixes come into play is in a situation like this. How do we distinguish what comes first, tert-butyl or sec-butyl? In that case, we can factor those prefixes in. So sec-butyl and tert-butyl will both get alphabetized under B, but sec-butyl will come before tert-butyl. Now that we know the correct order, we can write out our name. 5-bromo, 4 sec-butyl, 3 tert-butyl, 2, 2, 6, 7 tetra methyl octane.